Hello one and all, and welcome back aboard the home of Hype Train Football Club and to the first match highlights of the 2020-21 grassroots football season. We're in the midst of a second lockdown in the UK, so there's no better time than to get caught up with our efforts as a team as we began our EBFL Division One campaign with a trip to a strong Iver Heath FC outfit on Saturday the 3rd of October 2020. A team that we played in pre-season in what was an eventual 4-3 win for the hosts on that occasion. For our maiden voyage of the season, we started with the towering Jack Roche in between the sticks with Dom Clark and Rod Stevens in the fullback positions. Robert Austin was partnered by Maren Pendorf in central defence with Chris Marshall, Sam Bolwell and Callum Fox-Spence in central midfield. Sammy Seville and Jamie Carter hugged the wings whilst we had Phil Newport in attack. On the bench for the opening day of the season we had John Watkins joined by Danny Setiawan and Collins Akemchi. With the first kick of a ball moments away at Iver Heath Recreation Ground, if you like our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to check us out on our dedicated website at hypetrainfc.com. A highly competitive start to the game saw us get our first chance of the game when we had a throw-in from the right-hand side. Rod Stevens picks it up and it falls to Chris Marshall, who tees up Jamie Carter, who takes one touch and unleashes a shot with his left foot, but it goes wide without harm of the goal. Up the other end of the pitch, Iver Heath have a chance of their own when they pick up the ball in midfield and flick it onto the number 23. He brings it down and sandwiched in between our two centre-backs, Liam Connor's able to turn and take one touch in a second, but his shot is low and hard and Jack's able to collect without trouble. This is one for the annuals of good defending and what you expect your central defenders to do on Saturday afternoons. Maren Pendorf is waiting and as there's 1 and 2 touch passing, the left midfielder eventually gets the ball, but Maren's at hand to make a really good tackle, making the ball go out for a throw. There's some good hold-up play in midfield as Sammy Seville does well to bring the ball down before laying it back off to Chris Marshall. Chris finds Callum on the right-hand side and he's got Rod behind him and Sammy back on the inside. He finds Sammy, who then does a first-time pass into Callum and Rod. Callum leaves it for Rod to hit a low-time cross with Sam Bolwell in the box hitting a shot, but it is blocked by their defender. There's a freak moment at the back when Iver Heath's number 11 is able to get a low cross into the box and it bobbles between Jack Roche and myself. The ball trickles off my knee and into Jack's hands, with the goalkeeper picking the ball up with the referee giving an indirect free kick. Made to wait on the line for an eternity, their number 25 sizes the ball up from 6 yards out and it's laid out to him and Jack makes a very good save to keep the score goalless. Iver Heath's right winger probably won't enjoy watching this, but as their goalkeeper punts a long ball up the pitch, they win a flick on with the ball coming out to their number 22 and he takes one touch and his shot from 8 yards goes agonisingly over the bar. From a set-piece situation, their left-back comes up the pitch and takes one touch and gets the ball into the box, with Jack Roche collecting the ball but drops it, and if ball falls out and is stabbed home by their player, and I'm not going to play a replay just in case Jack throttles my head at training. A goal down in midfield, we're looking to get possession of the ball again, but there's a bit of a scramble between some of our players. Iver Heath and Rod on the floor pick up the ball, and their number 11 eventually gets hold of it. Playing down the wing, the number 6, who I believe was the player that scored the tap-in, is another victim of Maren's good tackling. Looking to consolidate their lead going into the half-time period, Iver Heath have us on the back foot again. They twist and turn with their number 23 and he plays in a ball, but I intercept and take a few touches to try and get away from my man. I twist and turn and find Sam Bolwell in midfield, who takes one touch up and finds Dom Clark down the left-hand flank. Dom chases onto the ball and eventually he's able to control it before he's sizing up their right back. Dom takes one touch and then cuts in before delivering a cross, but the number 25 in the middle does well to clear. There's some more good play from the team as we edge closer to half-time with Sam Bolwell and Chris connecting, eventually finding Sammy Seville on the right. Sammy looks up and finds Callum, who takes one touch to stand on the ball, sets it and delivers a cross, which is cleared out straight back to Callum. Callum heads on into the path of Chris Marshall, with Chris looking to vie for the ball against their player. Callum picks up the ball, but he leaves it for Jamie Carter, who picks up the ball and then finds Dom Clark in behind their defence. Dom takes one look up and when he gets onto the ball, he crosses straight in with Sammy Seville at hand, but the number 25 clears way again. There's just a little incident I want to bring up just before half-time. We're about 4 or 5 minutes away from half-time and the referee, as you'll come to see, blows for an early half. We're squatted 1-0 down and we are about to take a corner kick. Their number 2, this blonde lad at right back who was having quite a good game, is being sick on the side of the pitch by the right-hand goalpost, the goalkeeper's left-hand side. Out of nowhere, he just was violently ill and their players were picking up their sick with their bare hands. And yeah, I just want to bring it up because, as you're about to see when we whip in a corner here, Marin heads it on, and this is still going on about a minute later. The referee notices the incident, he's well aware of it, and he blows for an early half-time. And this is more a comment about grassroots football in general. As you see their players coming to the aid of their man, he takes off his shirt, he's allowed to play on in the second half. The referee turns his back from play and he's not acknowledging the situation. This is just an incident that shouldn't be happening at grassroots football level. This is an incident that we have taken seriously as a club. Who knows who has what nowadays? You don't bring sick players to football games. End of story. The second half, by all accounts, is a little bit of a tense affair. Chances are at a premium for both sides realistically, but we do have our best chance just to start off the half. Phil Newport is played in by Jamie Carter and is unleashing a left-footed shot, but is saved well by the goalkeeper before a bit of pinball sees Iver Heath clear their lines. From our best moment of the second half to Iver Heath's best moment, a corner's whipped in and it comes out to one of their players who has a shot, but he trickles on and he's able to get in a low cross, but their forward misses from about 3 yards out with a point-blank header. Committing men further up the pitch, the squad get caught out in the dying moments as a ball sprayed into one of their players who sets up their forward Liam Connor to strike, with Liam delivering a brilliant finish to round off the game with the final seconds for Iver Heath. Worthy of a replay from our Canon camera, here's Liam's goal in all of its glory. That saw out a good home win, and just before we obviously wrap up, I just want to mention that it was a good home win for Iver Heath and a very good performance for them, and we look forward to meeting you later on in the season. The last minute strike from Iver Heath's forward Liam Connor was virtually the last kick of the ball as we were unable to get our equaliser in what was a tightly fought contest between two passionate teams. Well done to Iver on their opening day victory back to start October and for a good start to the season. We'll be back next time as we look to avenge our opening day defeat when we host EBFL newcomers Hambledon FC at Calcott Recreation Ground. Until then, believe the hype.